Hey mathematicians, this is a video just to go over the expectations for the food truck menu price breakdown. I'm starting here on the food truck meal planning tracker so you can see where that information comes from. So let's say I'm making grilled cheese and my recipe will feed 4 people. My original recipe says I need 8 slices of bread, so I put bread, 8 slices. It says I need 8 slices of American cheese, so I put cheese, 8 slices, and 4 tablespoons of butter. So these 2 columns are just from the recipe, no changes made, okay? This column here is figuring out how many I will need to feed 1 person. Since my recipe feeds 4 people, I'm going to divide the amount I need by 4. 8 slices of bread becomes 2 slices. 8 slices of cheese becomes 2 slices. 4 tablespoons of butter becomes 1 tablespoon of butter. This is how much I will need of my ingredients to feed 1 person. I need this so I can calculate how much it will cost to make a grilled cheese for 1 person. If we go to the price breakdown, that's the Google Sheet. The very first thing I need to do is fill in the name of what I'm making and then the ingredients. This is just the first column of that blue doc. And the unit the recipe calls for. This is the third column of that blue doc. Note that I listed how much I need and what it's being measured by. So not just 2 what? 2 ounces, 2 pounds? No, 2 slices. I had to list that we're measuring by the slice of bread. For butter, it's by the tablespoon. So make sure you are listing the exact amount that you need as well as what you're measuring it by. Now, for this next section, this is where you actually go to the store and you find, I'm going to look for white bread at Sam's Club, and I'm going to fill in the information I need for my bread. Now, I'm measuring the bread in slices. So let's look at what we have. It is $5.28, so I filled that in for my cost. And now I got to figure out how many slices are in the package. So it doesn't tell me, if I just look at the packaging, it doesn't tell me how many slices there are. So you might need to go to the nutritional information. And it says that a serving size is 1 slice and that a bag has 30 servings. So I've got 30 sets of 1. I must have 30 slices in 1 bag. But this is 2 bags of bread. So I know that there are 60 slices of bread. Now, if your recipe calls for teaspoons and your packaging comes in cups, you're allowed to Google, figure out how many cups are in the package, and you're allowed to Google how many teaspoons is blank cups. That's okay. But you should be using the nutritional information or the packaging to figure out as much as you can before you go Googling over. So I have 60 slices of bread. I fill that in here. So now I got to figure out my unit price, and that looks like if I have $5.28 for 60 slices, my goal is to figure out the cost of 1 slice. Well, I know that I'm going down from 60 to 1, that's getting 60 times smaller. Since I'm getting it 60 times smaller for the bread, I also have to get 60 times smaller for the cost. Pretend that says 60 up there because my pen won't work. So I would go to Desmos and I would do 5.28 divided by 60, and that's where I get this 9 cents. So 1 slice of bread cost me 9 cents. Now I could figure out how much it will cost for any amount of bread. Well, how much do I need? I need 2 slices. So I know that 1 slice, we're going to call that slice, is 9 cents. We got to figure out what 2 slices is. Well, to go from 1 to 2, I'm doubling. I'm going to multiply by 2, so I'm going to multiply that by 2. Whatever our amount that we need for our recipe is, that's going to be how many times you're increasing by. When I do that, I get 18 cents. So you're going to repeat that for all of your ingredients, first at Sam's Club, than at Kroger, because if you're running your own business, you want to make sure that you're getting the best prices possible, okay? Now, once I know how much it costs at each store, I got to figure out how much it's going to cost to make my sandwich. Well, looking at my prices, it's 18 cents for my bread at Sam's Club. It's only 6 cents for my bread at Kroger, so I want to use that bread. And at Sam's Club, my cheese is a little cheaper. It's 36 cents for my 2 slices, so I'm going to use that cheese. And then my butter is also a little cheaper at Sam's Club. And then to find the cost of my total sandwich, I'm going to add the cost of my bread, the cost of my cheese, and the cost of my butter, and that will tell me 53 cents per sandwich. So you're going to do this on these tabs where it says menu items 1, 2, 3, and 4 for all of your menu items, okay? Follow the steps exactly as I did in this video.